Hey everyone, it's Shay Seeking. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. I want to go ahead and start off by asking those of you who already rock with me and feel me to go ahead and hit the like button. Um, you can do it now, or you can wait to see what I'm going to talk about. That's fair. Those of you that disagree, you can go ahead and hit the dislike button. And those who have a question, drop that throughout the video. And if you are looking to find out more about the fact that his story lied and why I'm saying this is not your mama's Bible study, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button and stick around. So today I'm just coming to you with something real quick. It's very random. I'm hoping it's going to be quick. I had a scripture stuck in my head, and I kind of just been playing it over and over. And then a couple minutes ago, I grabbed the book, which is the Bible or whatever, and I went ahead and read a couple of different versions of this scripture. And let's go ahead and pull up another screen so we can see. So let's go to Bible Hub. Okay, so on this channel, all we're doing is basically saying, wow, his story lies, but there are a lot of things in his story that actually are very similar to stories, dates, times, peoples, missions, and things in the Bible. Why is that? Why is that, I tell you? Okay. Now, this is my little quick disclaimer that I'm not religious, I don't attend a church, and I'm not an atheist. I'm just someone that is looking for answers from within, and I'm using the tools such as the Bible, history, etymology, dictionaries, different things to the concordance to bring forth and go more depth, because we've been just playing with the onion, holding it, letting like the little skin of the onion fall off. What we're doing is peeling back the layers and we going in. Okay, when the eyes gonna be watering, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to, but you keep on going because you want to, get to the bottom of it. Okay, so I hope that was a good analogy or whatnot, but okay. So what we're doing is basically having a theory on this channel, and everybody doesn't have to agree with every single thing that I'm saying in every theory. I would really hope that everybody would do their own research, and the people that are coming to this channel, even if it's only one or two, are those who are being affected and awakened, and there's something that is stirring something up inside of you that is guiding you and giving you answers. The more that I walk away from the uh, original way of seeing things, that herd sheeple mentality, because we've been led astray and we've been led as herds by these pastors to those fine pastors. And you already know what the rest that I'm going to say. You've been led there and you're just grazing, dude. And now there's something coming up on us and we're looking around. The whole time we've been thinking that we've been protected and that somebody's telling you the truth, but it's really been up to you because the true Christos is within you. And once you get closer to that, the closer you get to God, and that is just a sense or your Godhead. Okay, that is there and it always has been there, but you just haven't been using it because you've let mere men fool you into thinking elsewise, of another way. Okay, so perception is everything, unity is key, and knowledge is power, but it depends on how you're going to apply those things. Okay, discernment is a gift. Some of us are gifted and we're not even using those gifts because we're afraid to tamper with those gifts, such as seeing and different type of ways that we have been given gifts, because we have been religion has made us afraid that these things should not go hand in hand with the word, when in all actuality the word is uh like a universal thing. Okay, and when we're looking at such things, like I'm doing something on tarot and Torah, um those tarot cards are actually stories, some of them from the Bible. So why have they been keeping us away from those things? Okay, and I watched like this little clip about how they're saying, oh, black women are leaving the church in huge numbers and going back to witchcraft. And they're going to call it witchcraft and stuff in order to make you afraid, but don't be. Okay? What I'm saying is the more I walk away from that standardized, uh, what is it called? Scholarly way of reading the book and interpreting it, ministers, pastors, all of them too, or more doors have been opened with me. Okay. And there is something there that you won't know it, you know. And I used to think, man, why do it feel like when I'm the only one that when people say, you know, uh, God, don't you feel it? Oh, you'll just know it. No, it's not. See, and that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about that spirituality that you find in the church or you think you found there. We're talking about the one that's unsettling. It's going to move things in your life and move things. There's no question about it. And you don't have to do things. You don't have to stop eating this. You don't have to do this, this, and that. This type of thing. And this is the energy that I'm trying to harvest or reach, is the one that doesn't need, can bypass all that stuff if it wants you to have this message and pass this message along. Okay? So this is the thing. You got to let go of that fear. The fear tactic is the thing that is holding us back. Okay? So I've gone off the subject for way too long. I didn't mean to do that, but I just want to let you guys know where I'm coming from. I'm not a bad person. I'm a very loving person. And I feel, okay, when things are on edge and I feel the people around me. This is why I don't surround myself with too many different people, because because of energies and frequencies and all these things that I didn't know what it was at first. I just thought it was shy or antisocial or introvert and all. No, but these are certain things, okay? And when you quiet down and you listen to this and you go accordingly to what your body, mind, spirit, and your chakras and the third eye and all that stuff that exists inside of you, and if it wasn't supposed to be there, it wouldn't be there, okay? Then there is something else that happens, and there's a fulfillment that happens. The fear is wiped away. All these things that they say is going to happen when Christ comes is happening to regular everyday people that are going within on a daily basis. And that, my friends, if you are stuck in dogma or religion, you will not possess that in the church. You can probably start getting guided towards it, but if your mind, body, and soul is in that realm, you're not gonna get it. Not this way. Okay. So what we're saying is, the we're basically saying in Genesis during the creation, which in my eyes the creation is not even about people of color or indigenous, or we'll say this, Aboriginal people. Okay. I feel like this is their creation upon a nation. Okay. So when we're talking about the 7 days when he created the earth or the world, we're talking about from, okay, we say the first day will be 1,000. The years all the way from throughout the 1,000 years. It sounds weird to say that because we don't usually use that one. But the 5 is representing the 1500s and everything that occurred in that time. The 6th day would be, and it also says something about the Bible being more years, or as a some people say 100, some people say 1,000. I haven't gotten a factual way of how it says, but I want to say we'll go back and find what the word actually says, because you guys know I always like to use that term and I keep getting confused and I don't want to mislead anybody, and that's why I'm saying it this way. So you would have to check that out. But it even says there that it's a year to God, a day to God is a difference than a year with us. Okay, so what we're saying is in the 1700s, okay, which is when there finally became when there was a presence of a military force on the land, until the 1789 or so, when we got the first president. Okay, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the 7th day when God could rest. We're not going to go too deep up in this because I don't want to freak nobody out. But those 7 days represent times, a large span of time. Okay. And the reason why they could rest is if you think about 1776, when they so-called gained their independence. And when I say they, I'm talking about those that are in heavenly places, or the higher up people, the haves, which we are the have-nots. Okay. Because they have been progressing and we have not. Okay. They have the power, so-called, and we do not, of their realm. But we have the power if we go back to ourselves and start looking at the earth and people of the earth the way that we should. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at this because I'm gonna just stop right there. I hope y'all got what I'm doing, where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a good place. And I just want to go ahead and get into this with y'all. So, um, since I can't really stand just starting at a certain spot, we're just gonna pick something. I'm gonna go to Ephesians 5 and 28. We're gonna read 5 and 28 in the King James Version. Let's see, let's put it in here too. You know what? I don't know how to get to that thing, so I'm gonna just do like this. EP, he, Asians, he, Asians. I just like to play with words sometimes. I'm not even saying there's anything to that, but I just notice how he Asians. I'm just noticing how Ephesians kind of sounds like Asians, and it's funny about that is what we're about to talk about. So let's do Ephesians 6. No, I said 5. 5. Now this part is unplanned. I was just going to read the very scripture, but I like to go a little bit more deeper so that you can kind of see where I'm coming from. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and look that up because I don't know how to get all the thing all. I usually do it like this. Okay. There we go. Okay. So this is the version. Okay. And again, there's so many people, all different walks of life, different mindsets. Look at these different translations. People think just because there's so many translations, and I used to think this too, that this is a way that to tell that, oh, it's a lie. But I just think that most of these things are the same, right? Most of them are pretty much same. And if you go into definitions, which have changed over times, just like the Bible has changed over time, right? We have to think about that. Okay. So if we look at these definitions and we compare them to new and old, and that's why I like to use etymology. And then you can just go to etymology.com online in order to put these words. So if I put wife in the for a definition and I get a certain way of reading into that, but then down here it says woman or something, I'm gonna like even this wives and wife. Okay. That means something. It's gonna once you read that's why I like to read a lot of them or all of them sometimes in order to get a better understanding. Okay. So this is the reason why I agree that we should not all be getting the same 100% interpretation, but should be around about. Okay. I don't even know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So we're just going to go ahead and go into Ephesians 5 and 28. So, man, okay, and we're going to read from the King James Version, and then I'm going to go ahead and read it from the Living Bible. Okay. So ought man to love, no, that he might present himself in glorious church. And okay, no, we're not going to go there. We're going to go to, yeah. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. Now, that alone, let's just go forward one because that's all I did. Okay, body. Let's just see what we're going to get from this part right here. Oh, neuter. Okay. I'm just right here real quick. Stuck for a second. Because if you've been on this channel, you'll know what I think about the whole rib removing a rib and attaching it and sewing up the place thereof, and the fact that one of these gods was making people in his own image, male and female. Okay, we have a transgender problem going on in the world that we think just started right now, and we're acting like they haven't been castrating little boys and turning them into girls for a long time for singing purposes, for sexual pleasure, for whatever reasons. Okay, and we're going to act like that they can't be doing the same thing, but separating those people and putting them in the stars or illuminating us with these people in their heavens, which is in my eyes, in real life, the whole realm of entertainment and celebrities and your politicians and your indoctrination stations, okay, such as church and school, and all of these things go together. Okay, so in my eyes, I can't be mad at somebody if they want to, or if they see, because we all hold pieces of the puzzle, and until we get that, and you're still looking for somebody to crawl out of the sky on a white horse or whatnot, nothing's going to change. Okay, so we all hold a piece, and we're all supposed to be kind of connecting with each other on a certain frequency or energy, and drawing people in that same energy towards us so that we can be more powerful in that spiritual basic realm. Okay, because the more you show and share, the more people see these things, and it starts triggering something and activating something within their DNA. And that is what you call knowing, not faith and trust and belief, but knowing. Okay, we don't know everything, and this is why we must connect, because not all one person know it all. But that doesn't mean that we haven't been activated in all those different levels where we have eyes to see and we see, because real eyes realize. You get my drift? And I don't need no studies or no scholars to let me know what I'm saying and what I'm seeing and what I'm interpreting and what I'm thinking. I don't need a pastor or no one else to do that for me. And if you are in a form of any type of indoctrination in one of these stations that I spoke of, your way of looking at this and mine are never going to add up. So there's no reason for us to discuss anything. And I'm not trying to indoctrinate you, and I respect if you don't try to do the same thing to me. So ought excuse me, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. And then we look up bodies, and it says a body. Okay, and I know that I'm not the only one. I heard this a long time ago that people were saying that that rib might mean some kind of it just means an extremity or whatnot. And my thing is, if we have already went and looked at some of these first ladies from the founding, there was a very masculine trend going on, and they didn't have the doctors and stuff and the technology that we have, so-called, probably, that we have today, that we can create a Kim Kardashian, and no one can say that she wasn't created, okay, to be what she was, to deceive and manipulate the minds of several young women and people all over the world. Okay, that's a creation. Okay, we don't know what games these people play and what she have in between her legs. Those of you that think she's a woman, you can do that. Those of you that think she might be a man, you can do that too. Neither one of us can prove it. Neither one of us are going to get close enough to do the research that we would need. It would just take 1 second to see what's really going on. And these days, different thing they're bringing to light that different things. But like I said, they've been removing penises for a long time. And once you do that, the body goes through a different development when it comes to growth and puberty. They do it pre-pubescent. Pre-pubescent. I believe that's the way it's so hard I can't get that word. But before puberty, okay? And this will change there, make more feminine and more estrogen. It's just a way of doing things. So you can research that on your own. Okay? So when we're talking about this, so it says original word, this, part of speech, noun, but maybe now that is something else. But when I seen that, it just triggered me. Maybe this is something that they put there for everything. Neuter. I don't know. So it says a body. Body, flesh, okay? Piece of flesh. The body of the church, okay? And we all know that a body can be your body, or it can be a large group of people, or it can be whatever. Okay. And also figurative, the mystical body of Christ. Again, the Christ of one people of God, of one people. And we're going to go into these terms, people and person, hopefully. So, of uncertain origin, a body, bodies, body, personal, slave, substance, okay, entire, but something 570, other from the root ska, go to cover, okay, the body both of men, okay, both of men and animals, okay, because I'm just saying that could still be a population. I think was one that I wanted to throw in there, especially two at the beginning. Again, as everywhere where in Homer, who calls the living body. Okay, again, living body. That's another thing we're going to go back to when we're talking about people and persons, and not infrequently in subsequently Greek writings, a dead body or a corpse. Now, it's funny that we use this because I told you when we talk about the core or the core, when it comes to like a military, that word just stands out to me, okay? And it says a dead body. And then again, we're about to look at people and persons in the dictionary and stuff and see if we can find out more about this being dead in law. Because when you look at the word person in the dictionary, is going to be different than what you get in the law dictionary and different than what you get here. And you have to put them all together with along with the storyline, along with bringing everything back into real history and following a timeline to be able to see what we're saying here. Okay, universally of a man. Okay, the body of an animal offered in sacrifice. Okay, living body. Okay, so we know what we're talking about. Okay, uh, let's see. You guys can stop this, read it, slow it down. Oh, the name of transferring the bodies of plants. Wait, the name is transferred to the bodies of plants. So what name? This is reminding me of how the name of the true Americans, the darker races that were here prior to 1492, being transferred to other plants, people that were planted or seeding the land. And now they are taking on terms such as Native American and such. Not to say that they didn't come from those bloodlines of those original people, but let's not forget your mama and your daddy, which we talking about here is funny too, the mother and the father, and how they should leave the mother and father. And most people are going to think, oh, that means the sperm leaves this and goes here. No, we're talking about a system or construct that is set up. Okay. And when you are in the military, now, okay, this is going off subject, but it's kind of where I'm trying to get you guys to have a better understanding because everybody should be able to see this word and use common sense and true gifts that they have in order to see what this is saying. Okay. So, okay. So leaving your mother and father, when you go off to the Marine Corps or any of this other stuff, you are leaving your family and you're going with your we can call it the wives, okay? Or you're marrying. It's just, saying it in this sense where now this is your family. Now, when it comes to the police force, this is your family now. And we look at all these people differently because our job is to order these people around and do it's not really that, but that's what they've given us the perception, so that's what we allow them to do. So when you're speaking in these terms, they are now a family. So it is them against the people. So if they shoot somebody down in the streets and somebody speaks up, you will be cast to the side or threatened if you decide to maybe sometimes in most cases speak the truth. So most of these people turn a blind eye to certain things that they see is wrong within the force. Again, there we go with that force. Then they will not turn against that man. They work as brothers, no matter if they have an altercation or something beyond that, or don't even get along, still, they back the blue. Okay? So, on that note, you leave them and come on to, because then those people own you. Who's your mama now? Uh, that system, that force is your mama now. They gonna tell you when to get up in the morning. They're gonna redirect your brain into doing what they want you to do, and you are going to very well do it, or you're not going to be allowed to be there. Period. So again, way off track, but let's keep going. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. Okay. And this is why some people now, and I think it's more to do with, people can say, this is my duty and this is whatever. And I'm not knocking these people, because I think that they just don't know. A lot of people just don't know. Most don't know, or they don't see it this way, and that's fine. And I'm not talking bad about anybody, because these are just people trying to do what they can. They think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to better this world. And that's just it, So... But I can't say nothing about it, because there's people that might be in that situation already thinking that, and they're afraid to be forward, or they don't have anybody to talk to, or that can relate to them, because they're in that system, and maybe they need somebody from outside of it to show them something. So that I'm not going to not say it. So there's no hate. When I'm saying things like this, when I talk about races and stuff, I'm not being any type of race. I have all types of races in my family. Okay. And that's just the way it is. But what I'm saying is, somebody has to speak on it. Just like everybody is okay to speak on certain things with certain people any other time. But when those people choose to speak and say something, there's a problem. So, we ain't even gonna get nowhere, y'all, today. I guess I'm just full of something. So, for no man hateth his wife. Okay, so what I'm just trying to tell you is what I just said. Now, he that loveth his wife loveth himself, for no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. Even as the Lord the church. Okay. All right, so let's go the physical body. Okay. So I'm just saying, following expression, the body subject to the throat of sin. And I was just reading the word person, and we say person, but some people say person. And it just, I don't know. I just be looking at words differently. So, okay. Let's see. Since according to the ancient law, again, here we are talking about law. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This has something to do with this. In the case of slaves, the body was the chief. Hold on. Sorry. The body was the chief thing taken into account. It is a usage of later Greek to call slaves simply whatever. Once, so in the NT, New Testament, I guess, Revelations, whatever. Okay, we ain't trying to do all that. The name transferred to the body of plants, and of stars. Now, you see what I just said about stars? You see what I'm saying? So you would just think, oh, they wouldn't be safe. That's so obvious. No, but the thing is, they already have your perception. Your perception is everything. And if somebody else has a hold of it, and they've been nurturing it from the time you were born and you first opened up your eyes, and you start listening and talking and everything, there's nothing you can do. There takes something stronger and greater than that to wake you up from that kind of slumber. Remember how Augra, I think her name is, in the Dark Crystal? Let me tell y'all something. If you don't do nothing else when it comes to watching television, I don't waste my time. Now, see, people are going to just go thinking I'm going somewhere with this that they don't want to go. But these people are so cruel that they have given you the very book the Bible, okay, made you think that it's something that's, they made some people love it, okay, and think that they're reading it and think they know that it what it's saying and they cherish it. They've made some people hate it because of some of the things that are said in this book that people think they know the definition of, but they're not. They're going off of what somebody has given you the perception of what we're talking about. You haven't used your own mind to break this thing down. So what I like to say is they've given you the very book that enslaved you with the right mindset is here to free you and your descendants or ascendants, because we're going to be ascending from this point on. So you might think you've read this book, but if you have not been fully activated, you just doing just that, reading it. You're not getting an understanding of what the book is saying. If you don't know about law, that law is in this book. That this book is not as old as you think it is, and that it is all actually probably talking about the settling in the creation of their world on top of what was already here that existed, because there was already here people here when the creation was going on. Okay, now there was two creations, one in Genesis 1, one in Genesis 2, and I think there was even more, but we just focusing on those two because that's as far as we've gotten in this Bible study. I've read into it more, but I'm just going to stick to that because that's what I've already spoken about. There were already people here, and that is the Aborigines or the originals, the archetype. Okay, so when it's talking about this, and they've given all this power to those that are foreign or foreigners. Yes.